All right. Obviously, a disappointing way to start the season there for us. We just have a 17-6 lead and then see it go the way it did there in the fourth quarter. We said going into week one that the team that would make the least number of mistakes would win the game, and unfortunately, we were on the wrong side of that. We made too many there late in the game, myself included. There were a number of things that I could have done better, a number of things that a number of guys could have done better. When you look down at the stat sheet and you see 12 penalties, that's got to get cleaned up in a hurry. And yet we've been saying that all training camp as well. So, we'll find a way to get that done. It's going to be a collective effort. No one's pointing fingers. Statistically, I really think the defense did a really good job up until the very end. That fourth quarter, things got away from us a little bit, but up until then, they kept us in that ball game. Offense was stalling out, some good, some bad. I thought Caleb played well to start the game for the most part, finding completions and getting us moving. We weren't good enough on third down or fourth down as the game went, which we knew that was a good team on those downs. And then, of course, when you have the penalties and hard to establish the run game quite like we wanted to, it felt like we were behind the sticks most of the time. So second and long and third and long was where we lived, which was a struggle for us offensively. Guys did play hard. They played with great intensity, great effort, and I hate to see that they didn't come out with a W there at the end. But no one's going to feel sorry for us. It's going to be a quick turnaround here to get going for next Sunday in Detroit, our first road game. And so we got to turn the page here quickly.
And what happened offensively after the hot start?
Just inconsistent. We felt like we were gonna get some completions to get us going there, get the ball in our playmakers' hands, and it was those were a little bit harder to come by. I thought Caleb did a good job working the pocket there early in the game. And then the running game just I didn't feel the rhythm as I was calling it. There was some good and some not quite so good. It didn't seem like we were all on the same page at the whole time. So, like I said, that's a reflection of me as much as anything else, because what we said, as long as we were communicating the mic point and we're on the same page, we'd be just fine this game.
What about Caleb throughout the game? What happened with this game where he's 10 for 10 and then 8 for his next 20?
Yeah. I thought he started off really well, and then I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at exactly where those incompletions came in, but it certainly felt like it dried up a little bit, and probably a credit to Flores and the Vikings as well, making some adjustments on their end because some things tightened up as well.
But when you guys were getting the run game going late in the third quarter, I think it was 1st and 10 at their 24, and then you had the holding, intentional grounding. How would you describe the way that whole drive to kind of go from a chance to put them away to missing the field goal, how that kind of maybe deflated things?
Yeah, no, I think you certainly feel it when you're on the sideline there. You got it moving, you got it going, and then all of a sudden it starts going backwards and negative plays are happening, whether it's penalties or the intentional grounding, things of that nature. And so, it cost us some points, big time.
Ben, you talked about finding some sort of rhythm within the offense. In this game, your tight ends only accounted for about 4 receptions. How much of a role do you think that played in the outcome of tonight, and what do you hope to do moving forward?
Each game's different, and so they knew that they were going to have a workman-like approach to this game. They were going to be big factors in the run game and in protection for us, and so as a result, the receiving game might not have been quite as big this week.
On that first possession in the second quarter after they kicked the field goal, you guys come down and you decide to go for it on 4th and 3. What can you take us through your decision-making process on there? And does Caleb need to hit that throw with more open kind of there in the middle of the field?
I'd have to go back and look at exactly from his viewpoint what that looked like, but we liked the call and we liked the decision at the time.
At the end of the game, after you guys scored the touchdown, what was the conversation about onside versus kicking off, and then were you hoping that kick was going to go out of the end zone?
Yeah, the intent was for the ball to go out of the end zone.
And was there did you guys consider onside kick? I mean, how did that?
Yeah, it did. We felt like if we had kicked it out of the end zone and gotten the 3 and out that we got, we would get the ball back with around 56 seconds.